Like, hello. Is it recording? Good. Would you take my glasses?
Yes.
Okay. Let me... Nope. I'm gonna be done. Okay. Okay. Hi. I want to look at the camera, but I'm looking at you.
Yes.
Okay. Hi.
I know, it's weird. I know.
Okay.
Do you want to look at the camera?
No, that's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Throughout this Christine thing, like, the camera's what I'm used to talking to now.
Right.
So,
Totally. Okay.
alright.
Looks good.
Hi, my name is Summer Barney, and I am the director of the Private Letters of Christine Daae. I also starred as Christine in the series.
And what made you want to do this series?
Well, last year, actually, I had just had major surgery, so I had 2 weeks to not do anything at all. And I had this theory about myself that if I had 2 or 3 weeks to just lay around and do nothing, I would get bored toward the end of it and I'd start doing like creative things. If I just didn't have so many like work and school and everything, if I just had a chance to like have a break and get rested, I would want to do creative stuff. And that was put to the test because I had 2 weeks to just lay around and do nothing. And then one day I was on Tumblr and I was looking up Emma Approved and I found a list of other web series, and one of them was called Notes by Christine, and I was like, is that a Phantom of the Opera web series? So I like clicked on the episode, scrolled down through it to get to the first one, and was waiting for it to load. And then I was like, wait, how about instead of watching this, I just make my own? Because at this point it had been about a week and a half that I had been laying on my couch watching like My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and so I needed to do some more things. And by the end of that night I had written 6 episodes, like decided where it was going to be set, and like started on the outline. There's a bug. Started on the outline of like the overall series and how I wanted it to play out. And so that was where that started.
When did your fascination with the Phantom of the Opera begin? Can you tell us a little backstory on that?
I can tell you some backstory. When I was about 8 years old, at my house during Halloween, we would have talent shows at like a Halloween party, and because I lived in a big house with a lot of women, so there'd be like, we'd set up a stage and people would, you know, come and do like a little talent thing and sing or dance or something like that. And one lady, she came up and she had half of her outfit was, no, it was this side, half of her outfit was like a beautiful dress and like curly hair and like really nice and pretty. The other half was a suit and a mask, and the hair was all pulled back, so that one half was the Phantom of the Opera. There was even like a cape, and the other half was a dress, and it was Christine. And she lip-sunk Phantom of the Opera, and I was like, 8-year-old me was like, this is the greatest song I've ever heard. I wish there was a story that went with it, like, oh. And like, I didn't find out till I was like 11, and I saw a poster for the Phantom of the Opera movie. I was like, oh, they made a movie out of that song. And so I didn't get to go see it while it was in theaters, but like one night my mom explained it in detail because we were driving for a long time, and she was like, well, this is what happened, and like the boy came to her dressing room and she was wearing this really pretty white robe and stuff like that, and like in detail explained what the story was. And then when I finally got my hands on a copy when I was like 12, I watched it like 3 times that night, and since then.
Can you tell us a little bit about like just about the process of it, the journey of it, like what you've learned throughout it?
Well, it was
is a big question, but
yeah, it was an amazing process. Starting out, like, just kind of not knowing what I was doing and, like, pretty much I made the decision on the fly. I didn't raise any money or like be like, oh, this is a thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start a Kickstarter. I'm gonna get money for it and I'm gonna buy things. I was just like, I'm gonna start on July 22nd, and I had written it on like July 18th, and I was like, and then I'll make an episode every single week, and I'll just do this until May 5th when I graduate from college. And so I just went through, and it was like it was really interesting because I learned a lot about episodic storytelling and how to like tell a story over like a series instead of one short thing. I learned a lot about like screenplay writing. I hadn't really acted since high school, so I was like rusty at the beginning, and it took me a little bit to like get back into the character, but like around episode 5 was when I felt like I had finally figured out kind of like who my Christine was and how I wanted to portray the like strength and like at the same time vulnerability that she has, because she's going through a lot of things emotionally, and then on top of that she's got someone like manipulating her. But so I wanted to really portray that instead of the mystery and romance of the story. I wanted to focus more on her. So I like learned how to kind of do that. And then directing, working with actors and like being a director with people who like weren't just my friends, because the Phantom and Erik were actors that I put up a call sheet and they came and auditioned for me. And so like being in that role and having someone audition and being like, okay, yeah, my decisions are the things, and learning to work with people was really interesting. And yeah, and like editing, I learned a lot about editing, like software and stuff, and it was a really good experience. And I learned I have a lot of more confidence in myself and my creative abilities, I guess, because I really didn't know, like I knew what I wanted to do because I know I want to make films, but I wasn't sure exactly how that was going to happen or if I was even good enough. But this past year, like, and sometimes, you know, I get self-conscious about the way I look or something like that, and I'd be like, oh gosh, I look really bad in this video, but I had to like, I remember one, it was like the 3rd episode or something, was trying to figure out lighting, and so like I had lamps in different places in different takes, and like one, I like acted more convincingly, but my face was really poorly lit and like kind of from below, and I looked really just not great. But then there was another one where I looked cuter, but it wasn't as believable, and so I was like, I have to do this for the quality of the story rather than my own like self-esteem or pride. I have to like choose the one that is more convincing acting wise, and just kind of live with, you know, this is what I look like. So but so that was good because it gave me more like body confidence to just be like, okay, even if sometimes I make weird faces and this kind of happens, it doesn't mean that like, I don't know. But and then on top of that, like just promoting my work and like self-promotion to like to just go out to people on like the internet who I saw like on their Tumblrs liked Phantom of the Opera, and be like, hey, so I'm making this thing, in case you're interested in it, you should watch it. And just like telling a lot of people about it in person, promoting it on my page, because when I first started I was gonna be like, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make this thing, I'm gonna make it for me, and I'm not gonna tell anybody about it. Like, I'll mention it, and if they want to watch it, they can. And then like 4 episodes in, I was like, forget this, I like what I'm doing, so I'm gonna tell everybody all the time about it. So that was good, to make it so I wasn't so like shy about my stuff and be like, oh, I'm not that good, to just be like, to own that, like, yeah, this is a thing I made, I'm really proud of it, and like learn to to be proud of my work without like tearing myself down in the process. So
No, totally. What was your favorite scene? What was your favorite episode?
Favorite episode? Well, this was really cool because I got to learn a lot editing-wise as well. So my favorite one that I probably made was letter 20. And it was while she was in his lair, and all you see is the floor, and the mask in the shadows like resting on a book next to this antique leg. And it's my favorite because it has a lot of layers. Like, I recorded the voice part with the Phantom in the actor's name is Zach, I should just call him that, but I'm like, my Phantom, my Raoul, my Meg. but so like one night we filmed like the first episode that you saw, the Phantom, and then we filmed the 2 like we filmed like 2 other episodes where it was just going to be voiceover. So the episode where she's first in his lair, and then the episode where she removes his mask. And so that was just like in a room, and we just like talked at each other instead of like really acting it out. So I had to go in later and like to my basement. I set up like a book next to this like antique mirror leg and like rested the mask on there, and then I had to like make the camera fall, and then and then I like ran back and forth in front of the light so that it looked like there was shadows going over it, and then like I recorded myself like hitting myself and like pulling on my shirt so that there was like scuffles and like tap my feet and stuff, and then I compiled all of those sounds, and then like an opera song that I made like I had the opera song playing so that you kind of had that distorted sound, and then added all like the footsteps and the banging into shelves that I've been doing, because there's like a bunch of boxes and then like a shelf, and so I kept like smacking into them on both sides to like make scuffly noises, and then I like layered that with the sound of him screaming, and then there was like a part where he was like, and I will never leave you, and so I like made a really strong like sound when I had like purposefully banged into the shelf pretty hard, and I like added that like 2 or 3 times in succession so it would like sound like he was slamming her against something, so that it was, and so super layered, and like the end product was really cool because you just see the mask and you just like it like blurs in and out because my camera did that on its own when the light was poor, and so it was like doing that plus all of the layers and stuff was like, and it came out so well that I was like, this is a good episode. So that was probably my favorite one.
And what would you like to say to the people, like, I don't know, your fans, the people who followed you, the people, who...
Well, I would like to say thank you, because really knowing that something that I made and cared so much about was being, I don't know, that other people cared about it too, just made it even more worthwhile, because like one good thing was this wasn't something I was making for school or making for like a job. It was something that I was making for myself, and to have like something that was, because I've loved Phantom for so long, and to finally be using that love to make something like creative, and then having other people respond so well to it was just like really encouraging and helped me like be like, okay, like I'm making this for me, but like other people like care about this too. So thank you for watching and all of your nice words. I really appreciate it.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, unfortunately, as the camera's dying, I would like to say goodbye. So, yep.